and welcome to this week's edition of The Quest for Prometheus. I'm Chris Pilatos.
And I'm Justina Wojniak.
If Prometheus, that great titan of mythology, was sitting right here beside us, he'd ask, is George Soros and his Open Society a mere philanthropical organization?
Or a deceptive institute aimed at eradicating Eastern Europe's Christian values in the name of a one-world economy?
George Soros, whose actual name is George Schwartz, was born in Budapest, Hungary in 1930. From an early age, he was interested in making money. He got his start as a currency trader in the black market under the Nazi occupation. After graduating from the London School of Economics in the 1950s, Soros moved to the United States. During this time, he began to accumulate a large fortune through his international investment fund he founded and managed.
You may remember Soros as the American financier who in 1992 bet $20 billion that the British pound would fall and made a $1.5 billion profit in one day.
Time magazine has characterized George Soros as a modern-day Robin Hood, who robs from the rich to give to the poor countries of Eastern Europe and Russia. It claims that Soros makes huge financial gains by speculating against Western central banks.
And then uses these profits to help the emerging post-communist economies of Eastern Europe and former Soviet Union in assisting them to create what he calls an open society.
But what exactly is this open society? As we shall see, what Soros means by open is a society that allows him and his financial predator friends to loot the resources and precious assets of former socialist economies. Soros lays the groundwork for buying up the assets of whole regions of the world at dirt cheap prices.
To put it in simple terms, what he does is he privatizes the industries which were once state-controlled. In order to take down the governments in countries like Poland, Russia, and Belarus, he promises them help in reducing their debts using his economic shock therapy. This causes people to lose their jobs. Then Soros moves in to buy these industries at very low prices. He not only profits from that, but also replaces the displaced workers with his own people, the Sorosites. Today,
for thousands of young Eastern Europeans, to become a Sorosite represents what joining the Communist Party represents to their parents. A prospect to have a reasonably paid job, to belong to an elite group, and to travel abroad.
The chosen few go to Soros' own Central European University in Budapest, where they are taught that declaring a scientifically grounded truth is totalitarian, and that the independent nation-state is evil.
Soros' money-making schemes don't stop at bringing down European governments. He makes his profits by speculating on the world's financial markets via his secret offshore company, Quantum Fund NV, a private investment fund that handles a portfolio of 4 to 7 billion US dollars for several clients. Quantum Fund is registered in the tax haven of the Netherlands Antilles in the Caribbean, a haven for money laundering. Apollon, a wise oracle, will shed some light here.
Under the cloak of philanthropy, Soros, as stated by Chronicle's Foreign Affairs editor Sergei Trifkovic, remains primarily committed to destroying the remaining bastions of the family, sovereign nationhood, and Christian faith east of the Trieste-Stettin line. The political author Gilles Daimery wrote a few years ago, Soros is not just the power behind the Open Society Institute, but the U.S. Institute of Peace, the National Endowment for Democracy, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, and the International Crisis Group.
Soros once joked about his involvement in Ukrainian politics. If this isn't meddling in the affairs of a foreign nation, I don't know what is. This trend of his to manipulate the world continues today. After meddling with Serbian and Georgian politics, Soros has turned to the United States.
In America, Soros supports such issues as increased government spending and tax increase, euthanasia, open borders and immigration, immigrant entitlements, affirmative action, gay rights, and above all, drug legalization.
That's right. George Soros is an advocate for legalizing drugs. His Open Society Institute organized a petition to the United Nations demanding an end to the war on drugs, and had it signed by a number of U.S. and foreign politicians.
Soros has also meddled in America's foreign affairs. Since 1992, he has been lobbying aggressively for United States recognition of the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia to be called simply Macedonia. He labeled as thugs those Greeks who object to this based on their historic ties to the Macedonian identity.
He has set up the Foundation Open Society Institute of Macedonia in Skopje. Pamphlets entitled Modern Greeks Are Not Descended from the Ancient Hellenes are just some of the literature that his executive director, Vladimir Milchin, distributes there.
People all over the world are affected by the actions of George Soros and his open society. But you don't have to take our word for it. The facts are all there. We encourage everyone to check out all the available sources and become aware of the truth behind George Soros' philanthropic endeavors.
Join us next week
as we continue our quest for Prometheus.